is Eleanor Haskin-Wagner, and I'm the Museum and Historic Sites Supervisor for the City of Frankfort and the Director at the Capital City Museum. And I'm really excited to share some of my personal favorite Frankfort memorabilia today. So this document that I'm holding here is from an event that was held at Elkhorn Elementary School, but hosted by the Capital City Christian Church in the late 1960s. At the event, they brought in a former spiritualist medium to talk about the dangers of spiritualism. So at the time, in the late 60s and early 70s, we saw the rise of what most of us call the Satanic Panic. And Frankfort was not completely immersed in the Satanic Panic windfall, but there was a lot of conversation about spiritualism in the community. So if you are familiar with the museum's podcast, Kentucky Deceased, Hauntings of Frankfort, then you probably already know that in the late 1960s, the radio station WFKY hosted a talk show between a Catholic priest and the leader of the Satanic Temple out of Louisville.
I'm interested, though, really, in a little of the history of this Church of Satan. Now, what's this thing all about? Who started it, and when was it started?
And the Satanic Temple was of particular interest because, like I said, Satanic Panic was starting to take off. People were fearing the founding of this church, which had only happened a few years prior. And the conversation is posted in its entirety as one of the later episodes of the last season of the podcast. But that conversation happened after the radio interview aired at the Christian church as well. So it was like a multifaceted series of talks that were held through the Capital City Christian Church to better understand spiritualism and to provide some reasons why the devout Christians of Frankfort and Franklin County should stay away from these scary up-and-coming spiritualist movements like Satanism or just like general spiritualism. So the podcast, Kentucky Deceased, Hauntings of Frankfort, is produced by the Capital City Museum and hosted by me. We're an award-winning podcast. We're going into our 4th season this October, and you can find it wherever you listen to podcasts, and come on down to the museum to see some of our other haunted offerings that we'll be having in the months of September and October.